Hey guys, welcome back to Planet Origami. So for today, we're going to be making this really cool origami called a star. It's 3D and it looks really awesome, and you can just set it up right there to the side. And I've made plenty of these, they look really nice. And I got it from this book called Animal Origami by Montroll, and he's made a lot of different kind of books like this one, Dragons and Other Fantastic Creatures. In some of my videos, I might make some of his creations, and I just want to tell you how amazing this guy is for making all these things. They're really cool. So I might make some of these based off of these. And so today, for example, we're going to be making, on the very last page, the star. And it has a ton of different kinds of folds, but you'll kind of get used to it throughout the book. When you're making tons of different creatures and different kinds of things, you'll kind of get used to the different kinds of folds over time. Okay, let's get started. So first, we're going to make that plus and the X, just like how we did for the dragon. Okay, always make sure to make really great creases and not to crease it too hard, or else you might rip the paper. So we're going to make these diagonal folds again. Okay, then we're going to do it on the other side. And if you want your points on the star to look really nice, you want to make sure and match up your creases very nice and neatly. And I'd prefer not to watch out for some of the smaller kind of origami paper and ones that have like a ton of different kinds of amazing colors, because this one right here, this color that I used, it looks pretty bad because the color that they used made it really hard to make, and so it was really hard to fold. Okay, so now we're going to get this bottom side and fold it down to the middle on all four sides. Just two more to go. And remember, if I'm going too slow for you, you can always fast forward over to the next step. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did, but diagonally. So we're going to get this corner and fold it down to the middle, just like this. Okay. So now, using these folds that we just made along all sides, we're going to make even smaller little squares that we have here. We're going to make little small ones. So instead of folding this corner to the middle, we're going to fold it to that new crease that we made, up to the top. And you're going to get this side, and also fold it down to this other crease that we made. Make sure not to fold it directly in half. That will not work out in the end. And then unfold the whole thing, put it back. And then repeat on all sides. And make sure not to get confused with these lines. Just remember that when you're looking back, it's this line, then here's the middle, then go up 2, right there, to the middle. Last side. I know that this is a lot of square folding that we have to do, and it's just really boring to some people, but in the end, it's really worth it and it looks really nice. Okay, so we have a bunch of mini little squares. And you know how we did those diagonal folds earlier? Now we're going to do the exact same thing. Just like what we did sideways, we're going to do it diagonally. So get this corner and fold it all the way up to the top new crease that we made. And you don't want to get confused with these lines. Just remember that since you're diagonally, they're going to be the straight ones. And just like the other one, fold out to that line, and you get this side and fold it down right back to the other new crease that we made. And then fold it back, and do the same thing on all of the other sides. Okay, and just like that, we made all of the diagonal folds across the entire thing. So now, if you've heard of the water bomb base, that's what we're going to do. So, and these parts we're going to make mountain folds across, and then right here they're going to become valley folds, but flipped over. Just like this. You want to get that middle, fold it down in half, and then, oh, the other way. You're going to make these the valley folds, and these top ones the mountain folds. So then get it diagonally on both sides. And then fold down in the middle. Okay, just like that. Once you have both diagonal folds, you're going to crease it right there on that line on both sides and fold down. Okay, now this part is just a little bit tricky. You don't want to get too worried about it or confuse yourself too much. So you can rewind it as many times as you want to try and get a hang of this. So using this diagonal fold right here, so looking at the folds, there's like a little triangle right here. You're going to use either side, it doesn't matter which side you start on, because we're going to use both of them on both sides. Then you're going to get this line right here and fold up on it. Just like that. You're going to fold up right on that line and reverse that fold. And then you want to make sure that it's just like this and flatten it out just like this. Just push it down. You don't have to worry about making a different kind of random crease. It doesn't really matter too much. And there you go. Then what we're going to do is using this line right here in this little square and going out and going straight up using this line and that line, we're going to turn those into mountain folds. This one's already mountain fold, so you're going to try and get these two just like that. So then, once you're trying to get them all into a mountain fold shape, you'll kind of see that it wants to go forward and it wants to bend down right here. So that's what we're going to do. Right on this line up here, we're going to make that a valley fold so that this whole thing can fold down just like what it wants to do and go up. So making those mountain fold creases, you want to fold down right in the middle, that whole line, and then crease them down. You want to make sure that you don't have too much interference at all. Okay, just like that. And you're going to get this flap and fold it up. Okay, then you're going to get this corner and fold it straight down to match its other little friend right here. And getting this part right here, you're going to chop it upwards and just fold it in half. Just like this. Just flatten it down. Okay. Now we're going to do the other side. So doing the same exact thing, you don't have to worry and get confused. You just use that diagonal line right there on the same other side and just fold up and flatten it down. You want to remember to open up all those little squares that you're trying to flatten down and make sure that you don't make any new creases that we haven't made before. Sometimes the folds don't want to go on their own, so that's why you want to make the creases really sharp, or else it won't want to go back. Just like that. And then now, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And there, you're going to have a little kind of box in the middle, and then triangles at the top. And we're going to try and make it look just like that, but on the other side, right here. So you're gonna do the same exact thing we just did, all over again. And then fold it back down. Push that part up again. And then now we have one last side to go. If you're using big origami sheets like me, then it gets easier as the whole product gets smaller using the paper. Try and make these folds adjusted correctly. Okay, so now you got this thing. So what you're going to do is open up this flap right here. Oh no, sorry. You're going to fold down right here as a valley fold and right up here as a mountain fold so that it's up just like that. And you want to pull the rest of this upwards. You don't want to leave that down or else that's just not going to work. So then you're gonna have like a little kind of box. So then what you want to do is we're going to try and get this triangle and put it inside of here. So you get it and open up this little flap right here and just shove it in there. Can be a little bit tricky to put it in, but there we go. Just pop it in there, and then there you go. You can just kind of see it right there. It's already there. And then you're going to get this, and you're going to push it down, and if you turn it to the side, you can see this little crevice, and you're gonna fold it down in there, just like that. You're gonna push it down and fold back. So just how this looks already, right here, you're gonna do that on all three sides. I'm gonna open it up and make sure not to have this flap up. If that comes up, just put it back down. And you want to make sure and make the creases really nice. Because then if you don't, then all these corners are going to fold inwards and they're gonna all like collapse onto each other. And they still might do that, and you don't have to worry. Okay, so now we're going to do it on the other side. So you have this little flap that's up here. If it's on either side, you could just put it straight up and lift up your corner. Okay, and then up at this top part, we want to try and flatten it down. I should have done this earlier. Thought it might have been easier on this step, but probably not. So you want to kind of just open it up, and down to all these lines right here, you want to try and box it in just like how we did on the back of the dragon. So you just kind of smash it down. So doing this earlier would have been better, so just try to pull on all sides, making a big square right there in the middle, and then folding it inwards. So really that was not easier. So doing it beforehand is way better. Okay, so now you have your own little square. And if you messed up right here and the folds came out, then you could just redo them and pause the video. So on these flaps, to make the whole thing just like how it looks like this all around, you want to get this fold and squash it inwards using these two lines on both sides that we made previously. So that's why it's really important in the future to make really nice creases so that your folds will want to go down instead of having to make your own as you're folding these down, since you didn't make the creases tight enough from last time. So I'll do it on all four sides. And there, you have this little cube looking thing. So what we're going to do on every single little box right here is we're going to fold down. We're going to get this top corner and like these, okay, how about using these two lines and folding it down to these diagonal creases that we made right here. For example, just fold it in half in that little area on both sides. And then just kind of pinch it down like that to make the creases a lot better. And you don't want to pull this too hard and try to make the creases up here. You want to do one side at a time, because right down the middle it'll start to rip. So then you're going to do that on every single corner. What I like doing is going at the top and looking at this plus sign and just doing the whole entire plus and using this corner as a guide and just matching the side exactly like that, and then making sure that that is matched up and folding it down and squashing just like that, and then going all the way around. My favorite is this last one on that plus sign, because then you could just match it up on both sides and you don't have to worry about making the other side just right, because you already have both sides to guide you along the way. So now, just doing what we did, you're going to do all the way around the entire thing. And just so that you could fast forward the video, or these are the final steps so you don't really have to fast forward, then I'll show you how to do these ones. All you have to do is just do like that, how we do on that side, but just fold it in half. Just like that. On both sides, just fold it in half. And then you're going to do that on all of these little things. They'll start caving inwards, so just like this one, right here, you see all of these little ones, one wants to go forward and they all both go onto the other sides. You don't really have to worry about that appearance because it happens every time I do it. So just using those 4 bottom ones, you could just stand it up on those and people will never notice. They'll just see all the other stuff. And you don't have to worry looking back at some of the others. Like this one, for example, how it doesn't look like it was really matched up on those lines. You don't have to really worry about that because people won't ever notice that. They'll just notice how it's aligned correctly right here. So that's why I like using one side and matching it just down to the lines, and then doing all of them matching each other so that it all looks like they're all in sync. Some of these little corners are pretty tough, like this one right here, because it's pretty thick after folding it down inwards and having multiple folds on it. So you just have to kind of press down and fold it a little extra harder for those. And if you're using construction paper, you might need to get something pretty hard and push down as hard as you can. And there we are, we're almost complete. We just have one more plus sign and these little guys to go. Come on. Okay, there we go. So these ones, they go faster, but really it feels like it takes a lot longer because you have to get them and match them right down, and it's just a little bit more boring to do. And there you go. You just made your own little star. And if you don't think that your creases look really nice, you could always just go back and crease them again. Make it look a whole lot better to eliminate all those little wrinkles that you have all over the place. And make it look really great. Guys, thank you for watching this video. And if you really liked making this origami star, this 3D star over here that we made, then please make sure to subscribe and give a like, and please tell me what I should do next in the description below, because I know in the future I'm going to run out of ideas and I need your guys' help to come up with something that you guys would like for me to make out of origami. And if you want to get my next notification on when I made my new video, just make sure to click the notification bell next to the subscribe button.